Alright, so yesterday we talked about the character for the Veronica Remake that I didn't like and I feel would change based around the tone of the game. And now we have the character, or characters if you want to say that, that will definitely change, I think. Not only because they're such a big part of the storyline, so naturally they'll change anyway, but I think especially one of them had something that they would do in the original game, and if you know, you know. And I don't think that would slide nowadays. I'm of course talking about Alfred and Alexia Ashford, and they're both very good characters, they're very good villains, and I think for the most part they're very well done. Naturally, again, like I mentioned in the previous video, I think they'll change, maybe on a tone standpoint, although I think Alexia has always been like quite a dark villain anyway. With Alfred though, I think specifically, he's a little more goofy than his sister, and I think, again, with a shift in tone with the remakes, that it's naturally going to be a bit different. Again, because there is two of them this time around, I think maybe they'll kind of keep him in his goofy ways, but maybe tone it down a little bit just to fit the tone of the modern games. I also like how kind of in the original game they both kind of share a portion of the game, where he's more prominent in the first half, his sister's more prominent in the second half, and as I've always kind of thought, I think Code Veronica, while I don't necessarily think the game is particularly good, in my opinion, compared to other games in the series, I do think the last half of the game is such a big improvement over the first half, but it's just that first half, man, it just sucks, personally. But that is not down to anything specific, that's just kind of a general kind of thought of the game for me. But anyway, Alfred, so, if you know, you know, and that scene, and it happens multiple times throughout the first kind of few hours in the game, at the time, I suppose it was fine, and it was funny at the time. And if you look into like the real reasons behind it, it is kind of sad because it is obviously like something that this character is suffering with. But at the same time, with modern day thoughts and opinions and whatnot, I don't think it's something that's going to stick. And maybe it will cause offence, maybe it won't, but it probably will. Someone will find a way to make sure that it's like canned because of it, which is why it's probably more likely that that whole part of the character will probably be removed and changed with something else. What they do with that, I don't know, but yeah, I think that was definitely a thing of its time. And even the characters, I think I remember from that scene in the game, or one of the scenes in the game where that happens, is even like Claire and Steve are like, what the fuck? Like they say it's weird, and yeah, so I don't think that's gonna stick nowadays. In terms of Alexia, like I said, she's very well done. Very evil character, and I think the fight with her at the end of the game is very well done as well. So I think, for the most part, they'll probably keep her as she is. Maybe kind of have her involved in more of the game than like the last kind of little bit. But as long as both characters share the screen again and they're split up evenly, I think it'll be fine. But I really do think that, at least with him, things are going to change, and I honestly think that the first half of the game is going to change more than the last half anyway. I think that is also the case with the newer remakes, like if you've played those. I think, especially with the 4, because I think 4 is probably the closest one that matches the original game. I think the more drastic changes to the game are in the first half, and when you get to the island in 4, it's very similar. There are new additions to it, and there are things that are removed, but it's very similar to the original, whereas the village and the castle section are massively changed. So I really see no reason, if they're going to do a Code Veronica remake and they keep that kind of theme going, that the first half of the game will see the most changes. So with that, Alfred will probably see the most changes as well compared to his sister's character. But yeah, I just kind of want to throw it out there because I see people talking about it lately. There's been some recent kind of leaks, I suppose, and I don't really want to cover that stuff anymore. I always look at it, and if it's worth reading and it's worth making a video on, I'll do it. But it's very same with leaks lately, where it's just the same shit said over and over again. So instead of doing that, I do kind of want to just kind of make videos on my own thoughts on stuff in the game. And who knows, maybe something I said will come true. Maybe it's just kind of my own kind of thoughts out there, but who knows. But yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. Let me know what you think of Alfred's character down in the comments. Do you think they'll change him? Do you think they'll cut parts out or kind of redo his character completely? Do let me know. And yeah, thank you for watching, and as always, I'll catch you in the next one.